A woman should soften but not weaken a man. Out of your vulnerabilities will come your strength. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. Love and work are the cornerstones of our humanness. We are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love. The behavior of a human being in sexual matters is often a prototype for the whole of his other modes of reaction in life. Being entirely honest with oneself is a good exercise. When a love relationship is at its height, there is no room left for any interest in the environment. A pair of lovers are sufficient to themselves. Most people do not really want freedom, because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. Unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. In the depths of my heart, I can't help being convinced that my dear fellow men, with a few exceptions, are worthless. The virtuous man contents himself with dreaming that which the wicked man does in actual life. Religious doctrines are all illusions. They do not admit of proof, and no one can be compelled to consider them as true or to believe in them. No, our science is no illusion, but an illusion it would be to suppose that what science cannot give us we can get elsewhere. Everywhere I go, I find a poet has been there before me. What progress we are making. In the Middle Ages they would have burned me. Now they are content with burning my books. Whoever loves becomes humble. Those who love have, so to speak, pawned a part of their narcissism. The creative writer does the same as the child at play. He creates a world of fantasy which he takes very seriously. Where the questions of religion are concerned, people are guilty of every possible kind of insincerity and intellectual misdemeanor. There are no mistakes. Religion is an illusion, and it derives its strength from the fact that it falls in with our instinctual desires. Beauty has no obvious use, nor is there any clear cultural necessity for it. Yet civilization could not do without it. My love is something valuable to me which I ought not to throw away without reflection. The intention that man should be happy is not in the plan of creation. The more the fruits of knowledge become accessible to men, the more widespread is the decline of religious belief. The interpretation of dreams is the royal road to a knowledge of the unconscious activities of the mind. Poets are masters of us ordinary men, in knowledge of the mind, because they drink at streams which we have not yet made accessible to science. Neurosis is the inability to tolerate ambiguity. The liberty of the individual is no gift of civilization. It was greatest before there was any civilization. Men are strong so long as they represent a strong idea. They become powerless when they oppose it. It is a predisposition of human nature to consider an unpleasant idea untrue, and then it is easy to find arguments against it. Public self is a conditioned construct of the inner psychological self. Conservatism, however, is too often a welcome excuse for lazy minds, loath to adapt themselves to fast-changing conditions. The more perfect a person is on the outside, the more demons they have on the inside. The dream is the liberation of the spirit from the pressure of external nature, a detachment of the soul from the fetters of matter. You wanted to kill your father in order to be your father yourself. Now you are your father, but a dead father. Words and magic were in the beginning one and the same thing, and even today words retain much of their magical power. In mourning it is the world which has become poor and empty. In melancholia it is the ego itself. Nothing that is mentally our own can ever be lost. Anatomy is destiny. What is common in all these dreams is obvious. They completely satisfy wishes excited during the day which remain unrealized. They are simply and undisguisedly realizations of wishes. Time spent with cats is never wasted. A religion, even if it calls itself a religion of love, must be hard and unloving to those who do not belong to it. Everyone owes nature a death. Civilized society is perpetually menaced with disintegration through this primary hostility of men towards one another. Where such men love, they have no desire, and where they desire, they cannot love. It is impossible to overlook the extent to which civilization is built up upon a renunciation of instinct. Our memory has no guarantees at all, and yet we bow more often than is objectively justified to the compulsion to believe what it says. How bold one gets when one is sure of being loved. We are what we are because we have been what we have been. I never want to belong to any club that would have someone like me as a member. He who knows how to wait need make no concessions. Dream is the dreamer's own psychical act. The unconscious of one human being can react upon that of another without passing through the conscious. The weakness of my position does not imply a strengthening of yours. When one does not have what one wants, one must want what one has. Places are often treated like persons. The motive forces of fantasies are unsatisfied wishes, and every single fantasy is the fulfillment of a wish, a correction of unsatisfying reality. Dreams are never concerned with trivia. Dreams are often most profound when they seem the most crazy. Everyone has wishes which he would not like to tell to others, which he does not want to admit even to himself. For there is a way back from imagination to reality, and that is art. I do not in the least underestimate bisexuality. I expect it to provide all further enlightenment. Sigmund Freud was an Austrian neurologist who lived from 1856 to 1939. He is widely regarded as the founder of psychoanalysis. His works and theories have been studied and debated for over a century and continue to influence modern psychology and culture.